What's up, my crypto legends? Now in this episode we are going to take a look at the BTC price, and if you have been following me since the summer, you know that we were talking about this potential bump and run scenario all the way back here in July, where we did create these lower highs, a massive sell-off, sideways action, and I was already talking about this potential bump and run scenario back here in early July. Now with this played out very nicely, where we actually broke out, retested the resistance and support, and continued to the upside, meeting the target of the bump and run scenario, as you can see here on the chart. Now there is another potential pattern that I want to show you that could take the BTC price all the way up to the $85,000 in the next coming month. And I know it sounds crazy because we have broken major structure from these higher lows, but I'm going to show you this pattern, and you're probably going to think that there is still a chance for BTC in the next coming months to continue to the upside. You know that the fear and greed index is down at 16, okay? Extreme fear. The last time we were at these levels was back in May, and this was definitely a good buying opportunity. If you did buy there, you know that BTC price went all the way up to the $69,000, almost doubling your money if you would have invested when we were at extreme fear last time this year. Also, we're taking a look at Ethereum because Ethereum is not looking too bad just yet. And we're also taking a look at the S&P 500, the traditional stocks, all depending on what happens worldwide. Of course, this will affect the cryptocurrency space and we might go to lower levels. So make sure to stay tuned. We're going to analyze this in today's episode. Hello there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of Bitcoinsensus. New to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Daily TA on Bitcoin, crypto. I also do live streams to connect with the community. Not financial advisor. Don't buy or sell anything that I say. If you do so, do your own research. Now, guys, before we go to this major pattern that I want to show you, I want to show you the VPVR. We know that institutions use this indicator. It shows you where the most of the volume has been trading for buying or for selling. And as you can see, most of the volume has been traded in between $30,000 and $40,000. We know that this shows you where there is a potential big resistance or support level. In the case of support, we can see that the lowest part of this massive amount of volume was around about the $30,000 area. And if we get a box from the lowest part and take it all the way back here till January of 2021, you can clearly see that we have been bouncing here in the summer as soon as we had that major sell-off, bouncing every single time where we had this massive amount of volume. Now, in this case, if you take a look at the top bit, okay, and this is around about that $42,000 range, if we take a box over here, you can clearly see that this is also a major level. We have been bouncing as resistance at the $42,000 range here. As soon as we broke it after the sell-off, you know, we got heavily rejected once, twice, 3 times, then finally breaking it. And as soon as we broke it, it was a heavy support and got a massive bounce and continued to the upside. Now, what has happened with this sell-off? We've come exactly to that $42,000 range and got a massive bounce. Now, there is a possibility that this could be the floor for Bitcoin, all right? Just by looking at the massive resistance that it has been in the past, and also massive support, as you can see here on the chart. Now, looking at the volume profile, we can clearly see that this is a massive amount of volume also that should be holding very nicely. And now, let's go straight to the pattern that I see, okay, and haven't seen anyone talk about it right now during the last couple of days after this sell-off. Now, we know that this bump and run scenario played out very nicely. But after this bump and run scenario, we did create a lower high right over here, okay? This lower high right over here. So now we can take away this trend line. And if we take a look at this high and connect it with this lower high right over here, you can clearly see that there is a possibility that we have formed here, all right? And let me just get the low part here from the lows. And with these slightly higher lows over here, this could potentially have been a symmetrical triangle. And right now, we are just retesting the resistance, turning it into support, as you can see here on the chart. Now, if you take a look at these slightly higher lows, because it's slightly higher lows here, we did have $28,000 right over here, and also around about $29,000 and $30,000 range here back in the summer. And this lower high, you can clearly see that this could have been a start of a symmetrical triangle. We did break out at 50-60% of the pattern, as you can see right over here, right? I would say it's more about 60-70% of the pattern. We did have a massive breakout, and we are just retesting the resistance, turning into support. Now, this is a little bit of hopium, guys, okay? I know you might think that this guy is crazy because, you know, if you take a look at the higher lows here, we have broken major structure. But if you take a look at the macro and zoom out, we are actually retesting the lower high resistance into support, and there could be actually a measured move from this symmetrical triangle, and it will be exciting to see in the next coming months how this plays out. But if you take a look, if you take the width of this symmetrical triangle and from the breakout, this should take us all the way up here to the $85,000 price target, okay? And this might take several months. It doesn't mean that this might, you know, we might consolidate here, come back down, retest, and then continue to the upside, all right? And this might take 3, 4, even 6 months till we reach those price levels, but it is very, very possible. And as soon as we break the $40,000 major support, it is going to be definitely a multi-monthly, even a year or 2-year bear market, in my opinion, because this is an insane support level that needs to hold. This is the $42,000. If we break this level, it is very likely that we are going to retest the low $30,000 range, okay? And this is not going to be looking good at all for BTC. So that is my price target. If we break $40,000, we're coming down to $30,000 to retest that low, to retest here the VPVR and also the lows from the summer. As you can see, we have a huge amount of volume. So that would be like the ultimate bottom. If that is broken, we could see BTC at 25K, 20K. But overall, I can still see this pattern, guys. As you can see, potential huge symmetrical triangle that we broke out, and we're just coming down to retest the support, okay? And we might potentially get a bounce here in the next coming weeks. Something very interesting to see how this is going to play out. Now, for experienced traders, Bybit, my favorite swing trading platform, you can claim up to $600 worth of bonus with my link in the description. And PrimeXBT, my favorite day trading platform, you get 25% discount by using Bitcoinsensus 50 as a promotion code. Now, if you use my link in the description, there will be better bonuses on PrimeXBT. You will be eligible if you use my link in the description. Now, if we take a look at Ethereum, Ethereum is it looks like Ethereum is quite okay compared to Bitcoin, because Ethereum is actually holding the higher low here, major support level, as you can see the trend line, and is also above the lower high major trend line here. So if Ethereum does hold the $3,700, $3,800 range in the next coming days and gets a massive bounce from here and consolidates sideways and starts picking up for the next coming weeks, it's going to be looking pretty good for Ethereum, as you can see on the chart. We're just going to take a look at macro analysis. Make sure to subscribe, because I will be doing live streams and we'll be doing more short-term analysis and some other altcoins. Now, jumping here straight to the S&P 500, because this is one of the most important charts. Also, you know that there is really high correlation, even though a lot of people might think that there is no correlation in between crypto and the stock market and Bitcoin and stock market. There is actually a lot of correlation. Now, if we zoom in here on the stock market, on the S&P 500, okay, you can clearly see that we are holding by a thread right over here from this major resistance, turning into support. Now, if we do start breaking this level and continue to the downside, it is very, very likely that we are going to meet this support over here, which is the 4,300 points, as you can see. So the 4,500 needs to hold. If not, we are going to come all the way down to the 4,300 major support level. And then it's not going to be looking good, because as you can see, even though the S&P 500, you know, we have had these major dips, it has had a massive uptrend still, okay? So this could be just another correction, and we are going to continue to the upside. As you can see, the trend is your friend. Since March of 2020, we have entered a massive bull trend, as you can see here on the chart. So until the trend is broken, and it's not broken just yet, I would say that this low over here at the $4,300, if this doesn't hold and we start breaking, then there is a possibility that we are going to create a lower high right over here on the next pump if we do break it, and then this will mean that we are entering a bear market here in the S&P 500 in the immediate short term. But till then, if this higher low holds very nicely, we are still in a very strong macro uptrend. As you can see here by looking at the chart with no indicators, we can see that we have a massive trend. Guys, this is going to be it for today's episode. Make sure to check out the Bitcoinsensus website. We have the latest news and technical analysis here. And if you haven't checked out my Bybit or PrimeXBT tutorial, how to learn how to trade on those platforms, the video's on the screen. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one.